Speaking of oligarchy, Ryan, we have the story from OpenAI to talk about and Scarlett Johansson. And you did promise a story about Scarlett Johansson, so we'll put a pin in that. Let's just do it to keep people watching because it's a good story. But Scarlett Johansson is locked in a battle with Sam Altman and OpenAI, and actually I think locked in a noble battle with Sam Altman.
She basically won, right?
OpenAI. Legally, it looks like she's clearly has the law on her side, which is interesting because there's going to be a lot of novel legal battles and decisions coming out of the AI space in the near-term future.
And Intercept is suing them.
OpenAI? Oh, that's really interesting.
For robbing content, basically, for the AI, with a few other small news organizations.
Sarah Silverman, I think, is doing something similar.
Is she? Good for her.
Yeah, absolutely.
Solidarity.
So let's put this tear sheet from NPR up on the screen. Scarlett Johansson says she is, quote, shocked and angered over the new ChatGPT voice, as she should be. If you haven't heard the backstory here yet, it's absolutely insane. Like, the level of brazenness comes from, it could only come from Silicon Valley tech bros. Just reading from the NPR piece here, lawyers for Scarlett Johansson are demanding that OpenAI disclose how it developed an AI personal assistant voice that the actress says sounds uncannily similar to her own. Johansson's legal team has sent OpenAI 2 letters asking the company to detail the process by which it developed a voice the tech company dubbed Sky. Johansson's publicist told NPR in a revelation that has not been previously reported. After OpenAI held a live demonstration of the voice last week, many observers compared it to Johansson's voice in the 2013 Spike Jonze romantic sci-fi film Her, which, as you may remember, centers on a man who falls in love with the female voice of his computer operating system. And if we skip ahead in the elements here, I just want to go ahead and put this next, not the next one, but actually E3 up on the screen because it's relevant to what we just read from NPR. Sam Altman on May 13th had just cryptically tweeted her, lowercase her.
Yeah.
And then the voice comes out. It sounds just like Scarlett Johansson.
Sounds just like her.
In the Spike Jonze film, Her. So to test this out for yourselves, we're going to play a video that somebody else made comparing OpenAI to actually Scarlett Johansson. It's not from Scarlett Johansson. Right. This isn't from Scarlett Johansson, even though it's reading Scarlett Johansson's statement. She did not put this out. Her team did not put this out. Someone else made it, but it's a very instructive mashup. So take a listen here.
Last September, I received an offer from Sam Altman, who wanted to hire me to voice the current ChatGPT 4.0 system. He told me that he felt that by my voicing the system, I could bridge the gap between tech companies and creatives and help consumers to feel comfortable with the seismic shift concerning humans and AI. He said he felt that my voice would be comforting to people. After much consideration, and for personal reasons, I declined the offer. 9 months later, my friends, family, and the general public all noted how much the newest system named Sky sounded like me. When I heard the release demo, I was shocked, angered, and in disbelief that Mr. Altman would pursue a voice that sounded so eerily similar to mine that my closest friends and news outlets could not tell the difference. Mr. Altman even insinuated that the similarity was intentional, tweeting a single word, her, a reference to the film in which I voiced a chat system, Samantha, who forms an intimate relationship with a human. 2 days before the ChatGPT 4.0 demo was released, Mr. Altman contacted my agent asking me to reconsider. Before we could connect, the system was out there.
Okay, so that was Scarlett Johansson. Not really. That was the AI voice of Scarlett Johansson, reading Scarlett Johansson's statement. Ryan, what do you make of all of this?
Has anybody ever been more busted than Sam Altman?
No. He busted himself.
Just completely busted.
Yeah.
He clearly...
But did he want to be busted? Is he intentionally testing the limits of the law in this case? Because you mentioned Intercept. I think Sarah Silverman has a similar case to some of the media outlets that you guys have joined up with to challenge legally scraping all of your guys' work and doing machine learning based on it, the fact that he tweeted her after knowing for sure that Scarlett Johansson was going to publicly say, this is not consensual, I said no to this, you came out, used my voice, it seems to me like he's intentionally testing the limits and is doing a wink and a nod in a way that you used to see from Silicon Valley back when they felt like they were on a pirate ship in 2006.
Yes, that is a very good analogy, that that this is the old move fast and break things, which is, I think, a Zuckerberg line, which meant, don't worry about the rules, don't worry about the laws. We're just plow ahead. And what's meta concerning about this, no pun intended,
I was going to say,
is that
speaking of brazen,
Altman is the guy who we're supposed to rely on as the ethical mind and the ethical soul behind AI. Like, he's the one that's been promising us, trust me, I have the interests of humanity at stake here. I'm thinking about the future in ways that the grubby capitalists are not. Never mind that he moved his thing from nonprofit to for-profit.
And the regulators who just don't understand this.
Right, he's the one that we're gonna just supposed to trust with this. And now, given a very basic test of ethics, he just wildly failed. Like, this is a test that a third grader could pass. If you ask somebody's permission for something and they tell you no, are you supposed to do it? A third grader would be like, no. Some third graders will just plow ahead anyway. We don't want those third graders shaping the entire future of humanity.
Do you currently have a third grader?
No, second and fourth.
It just sounded so visceral for you.
So I'm leaving my kids out of this because they're in different grades.
Yes, they could run OpenAI.
No. Absolutely would not run.
Not even in fourth grade?
No.
Okay.
Sorry.
But the reason I think this resonates with so many people, A, is because it's so brazen, but also because people can connect the dots and see how this will be used for them. They know that because people have been dealing, by the way, with like revenge porn on individual community levels, not just celebrities. The celebrity cases are the ones that get the most attention, but you can see where this is going really quickly because people see where some of this stuff has gone already very quickly. People are dealing with this stuff in high schools, how you can use AI right now to do horrible things that are not consensual, especially young girls. But you can connect the dots between what happened here to Scarlett Johansson. It's just disgusting to treat this like, and I get this is not pornographic. This isn't, it's not content that's humiliating or embarrassing in any way. It's just, reading, as a voice that's reading, but the possibilities with AI are absolutely endless, and the way that they can be used to target people that don't have the resources of a celebrity to release a lawyer-crafted statement to NPR and have a full media blitz defending yourself, that is not going to happen to the kids who deal with this in Fort Wayne, Indiana at their high school. And for Sam Altman to be so cavalier about it, it just speaks to something that is so rightfully out of fashion for the rest of the country now, which is this, although it's becoming defensible again with the sort of accelerationism crowd that is reacting to some excessive, zeal among people who just want to control everything. I understand that, but do you get why people maybe want to control everything? Because you're doing this.
Yeah.
You're doing this.
If a good thing that could come out of this, well, A, she should sue him, but B, there should be a ban on producing AI products that allow you to take somebody's voice and then recreate it.
It's just
because, like you said, you're going to have middle schoolers who will take voice memos from a friend or who they thought was a friend, feed it into some program, and then make new voice memos and pass them around as if these are the real people. And Altman is showing here that AI absolutely cannot be trusted on this question. And the legal point is really interesting. One of the things that's been circulating since this happened is going back to what happened with Bette Midler and Ford. Do you remember this? It was like the yuppie commercial campaign for Ford. Vaguely.
Bette Midler said no to having her voice used, and then they hired a Bette Midler impersonator. And Bette Midler won that battle.
Right.
So this is a legal framework that should give Scarlett Johansson actually a pretty good defense or a pretty good advantage in defending her rights against what Sam Altman just did. Who knows if Sam Altman, with all of the resources of OpenAI, was even aware of that, if any of his legal team actually was aware of what happened with that case. My assumption is that they were, and that they are still, but maybe they weren't, and they don't care. They're testing the waters. They have all the money in the world to do it. And they're ready to go have fun, move fast and break things and, do no evil, but their definition of evil is probably different than a whole lot of other people's. Now, Ryan, the crowd is in suspense.
My Scarlett Johansson story actually does kind of flow into the impersonation point also.
Yeah, it does. It does.
So back in the Obama era, basically, the contest among media organizations was who could get the biggest celebrities.
It was pretty gross, but
to come to the White House Correspondents' Dinner.
But fun for reporters.
We were the Huffington Post. We were the cool kids in town. We were run by Ariana Huffington, who from LA, knew absolutely everybody in LA. It was actually a contest of, like, who could compete for second place of getting the best celebrities, and it would usually be Bloomberg because they had this huge party at the French embassy, and so they would be able to get like the second best celebrities. We'd always get the top A-list ones. And so a couple years, we had Scarlett Johansson at our table. I would not get invited to these French embassy parties. Even though I was at the Cool Kids outlet, I was still doing reporting that made the Cool Kids very uncomfortable. Obama just constantly was trashing us.
Yeah.
Like, hey, he's like, why won't the Huffington Post just get in line?
Didn't lock you up or surveil you, but well, not that we know of.
We don't know. So Scarlett Johansson, of course, did get invited to the French embassy party. So I think it was her brother that she was with, and then a couple other Huffington Post reporters. My wife and I go with her in this limo to the French embassy. We're not invited, but she's like, "Look, I'm Scarlett Johansson. I can get you guys in." So we get to the gate, and she's like, "These are my friends," and they're like, "Well, they're not on the list. They can't come in." And the look on her face, I've never seen anything like it. Like, it was like the first time she'd been told no. Mm-hmm. I think she was a child actress, right?
I don't remember.
And so she's just stunned.
This is Ryan Grimm.
More like, I'm Scarlett Johansson. You're telling me no?
Yeah.
You're a security guard here? And so she recovers and she's like, who runs this?
Yeah.
Who's your manager?
And you speak to the ambassador.
Speak to the ambassador. Bigger people come over, and it took a while.
Yeah.
They did not just roll over.
But she fought for you.
But she was not. It became a matter of principle.
Yeah.
She was not fighting for my wife and I. She was fighting for the principle that if she says that these people are cool and her friends, that damn it, they're coming into this party. And so eventually they're like, okay, fine. Just how many is it? She's like, she counts. All right, fine. Come on in. And the thing was surreal. It's like Henry Kissinger over here. It's like the absolute grossest place I've ever been. I think I stayed for about 15 minutes.
Gotta get out of here.
It's like, this is insane. But then later, and this is where the impersonation comes in, and I won't say who we did this to, but we did an April Fool's prank where we made a fake New York phone number and texted one of our reporters saying, great hanging out with you. It's Scarlett. I've got a cousin who wants an internship at the Huffington Post, and started a text conversation.
You pulled an Altman. You fully pulled an Altman.
We started a text conversation and had the person convinced that this, and he never told anybody that he was texting with Scarlett Johansson. Eventually.
Good for him.
Well, eventually we called it off. We're like, this could end badly.
Yes.
Told him. So anyway, she should sue us too, but we didn't do it publicly.
Sam Altman, if you're watching, it takes a certain dose of wisdom to pull your chips and just go home, take the L.
Exactly. But this is the kind of thing that people will do, these kinds of pranks.
Yes.
And they're not. This was funny because
I was going to say.
But it could end badly.
It could end very badly. But good for Scarlett Johansson fighting for the free press to rub elbows with Henry Kissinger.
Let them come into the Henry Kissinger party.
To toast champagne with Henry Kissinger and get more scoops about how great China is. I'm sure that's what he was dishing out at the time.
I wonder. I was like, is that? Oh my God, that is.
It's hard to say. It's hard to say. But all right, well, that was a hell of a story.
There you go. I don't know.
story time with Brian.
Story.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. Hey, if you liked that video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to Breaking Points.
If you want to see the rest of Counterpoints, go to breakingpoints.com to become a premium member and get the full uncut show every morning in your inbox and on Spotify.